This is the Let's Go Win podcast with your host, J.M. Ryerson.
What is happening, you guys? Welcome back to Let's Go Win podcast. You are here for a Tuesday tune-up with a little bit different look. I had a camera go down earlier, so we're going to use the laptop camera today, and I think it'll be okay. So today we're talking about leadership and specifically lead your team through adversity. Now, LEAD is an acronym that we'll be talking about. As you know, I love acronyms. I try to make things more simple, but it's leading your team through adversity. So I had a basketball coach that taught us to expect to make every single jump shot that we ever took. He said, you should be shocked when it doesn't go in. While that was extremely helpful in building self-confidence shooting a basketball, on the opposite side, a lesson that I've learned in leadership is that I always plan and hope for the best, but I'm never really surprised when a problem, challenge, or adversity arises. Actually, I'm shocked if a problem doesn't arise as we're working on a project. Knowing how to lead, L.E.A.D, through that challenge is what built self-confidence in my leadership role. And the first L we're going to start with is listen. The biggest mistakes I've made in my leadership journey has always been due to not using these two wonderful ears that we have. I would see a problem and I know that I can solve it. And most of the time I'd make an even bigger mess of it. Fortunately, I've matured and learned from those mistakes. And one of the first steps to solving any challenge is to ask those that are working on the project questions. What's been working? What are the challenges? Am I seeing the whole picture? Making sure that you really listen to what they have to say is the first step. Before we ever open our mouth, listen to what they have to say. So that's the L in lead. E is empathize. Now, admittedly, this is something I continue to work on because it's not natural. I'm a solution-driven person typically, but you need to empathize. To have real trust with your teammates, you need to know what their hopes, their dreams, their problems are. That will allow you to develop a personal connection with them. Once that connection is established, you can inspire and drive them to perform at their best ability. As Teddy Roosevelt said, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Empathy is not being weak, but rather it's an understanding. Everyone has faced struggles at work or home, and to have your leader understand will build trust and loyalty that every great team needs. And it's so true. When your teammates know that you genuinely give a shit about them, they will run through brick walls for you. But if they don't know that, again, they really don't typically care what you have to say. And they may follow it because they have to, but you want them to be inspired. So the A, when it comes to lead and in the acronym, is advise. So if you're following the steps, now it's the time for your expertise to come into play. You are in this leadership position for a reason, and your teammates will look forward to hearing what your input is on how to beat this problem. Often you as a leader have encountered something like this in the past, and you possess the critical thinking skills to get over the hump. Armed with all the knowledge of what the team has to endure, you now get to provide your insight. That does not mean that you do it for them, but rather you give your thoughts. And that's crucial because if you take over now, the team will lose the chance to gain vital experience and confidence that they can do it now and in the future. So we've listened, we were empathetic, now we advise, and here comes the last and probably the most, well, they're all important, but this is for your leadership to really grow is develop. A lot of trust has been gained if you get to this point. You've listened to them, you've empathized what they're going through, you advised on a solution. With that trust, now you get to start developing your next group of leaders. And this will excite them as they get the chance to improve and grow as a person and a professional. And I've never encountered someone that didn't want to develop more and improve. If you plan with them for a personal development, you guys will both be rewarded for the foreseeable future because now you have a leader that has watched this process, is now developing as a leader, and now you're building a company or a team of leaders. Instead of just one, you have a whole bunch. So there is a lot of responsibility that comes with being a leader. People are looking up to you. They're depending on you to make those right decisions. Remember, you don't always have the right answers, but you're willing to find those answers with and for your team. With all the added responsibility, I want you to remember to slow down, breathe, and follow your leadership plan for success. The L.E.A.D acronym is a tool that I've used. It's something that's pretty simple, but if you encounter, or when you encounter, it's not if, when you encounter these problems, remember, listen, empathize, advise, and then develop. That simple acronym has helped save countless hours from me sticking my foot in my mouth or advising the wrong thing or just not really understanding what they're going through. This acronym will always slow me down and say, all right, let's hear what's really going on. Get a chance to say, I understand how you're feeling, and then advise them on what if we look at it this way, and then develop that person so that they can do the same and develop a team of leaders. So anyway, guys, know that the adversities are coming in leadership. They always will. That's not a bad thing. It shouldn't be a shock to you. Utilize the LEAD acronym and keep developing that team and your leadership path. It will continue to grow. So remember, your mindset matters. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Share and with others so they can hear this, because I think it's so important. I believe everything rises and falls based on leadership. So please share this out with your friends, your loved ones, and we will talk to you soon. Take care, you guys. Thank you so much for listening. If this content is delivering value to you, please make sure to subscribe, rate, and review us. That helps us build this community, and that is what we are all about. Building this community as big as we can, helping as many people as we can, and deliver as much value as possible. Be sure to head over to letsgowinpodcast.com for information on my coaching courses, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn at Let's Go Win 365. Let's go win and transcend in life.
This is the Let's Go Win podcast with your host, J.M. Ryerson.